This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 404 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be talking about crafting an effective sales sequence. Now, before we jump into this, I want to make sure that if you haven't already taken advantage of the 40% off the Insiders program, that you do so. This program allows you to have weekly trainings to make sure that you are using the most effective strategies based on what is working right now when the algorithms start to change. Plus, we're giving you group coaching. So no more shiny object syndrome of thinking you have to jump from one thing to the next thing to the next. Instead, we're going to make sure that you have a personalized pathway to know the direction that you need to take your business in. You can hop through to the show notes in order to join in with us inside the Insiders program. All right, so today we're going to discover the blueprint for constructing a winning sales sequence that converts leads into loyal customers. Too many of my clients I see making the mistake of waiting to offer a paid product to their list. It just is a huge mistake. There's no reason not to get it in front of them right away. So we need to have a sales sequence in place as soon as they opt in order to let them know that we offer products and to start making sales right out of the gate. So let's start off with what is a sales sequence. A sales sequence is going to be a series of emails that come right after someone opts in to a lead magnet, a freebie, something that you're giving them in exchange for their email list. And that sales sequence will come automatically based on the software that you are using for your email service. So in order to create a sales sequence, you first have to be able to identify your target audience. And we spent time making sure you understood how to identify that target audience back a couple weeks, where we really dove into knowing who the people are that you are trying to attract to you through your attraction marketing, through creating content on your website as well as social media. So you really want to make sure you know who that person is and what you are trying to send to them, so that when you create your sales sequence, it is targeted to them with a specific product in mind that is connected to the opt-in that you offered. So we need to map out our sales sequence so that we can better understand how these emails are going to get sent out. Now, one of the things that I always recommend is when you're writing your sales sequence, you don't need to necessarily write them right away inside of your email software. I would actually recommend creating a Google folder where you're going to keep your sales sequence, and each one will be a Google Doc within that Google folder so that you can revise them and be able to use them in other sales sequences moving forward. So the first email that is going to come in the sales sequence is going to be the opt-in delivery. You want to make sure that whatever you are offering as your opt-in is going to give them a small transformation so that they get value from it, but also is then going to be a easy connection to the product that you are offering, so that they already got a little bit of transformation and now they really want a bit more and they're going to be willing to pay for that. This is normally your Tripwire product. Now, the opt-in that you are providing with them in that first email is going to make sure that they download it, because this is a piece of double opt-in. You want to make sure that your email service provider that you are using has you using a double opt-in feature. Simply them putting in their email when on your landing page or your landing form for your opt-in is not good enough to qualify them onto your list. They need to actually physically download. You want them to take that action, because if they're not willing to take an action to download your opt-in, are they ever going to take any sort of action in your email to then go and buy your product or read any of your articles that you are going to provide them with? So Your opt-in delivery email is going to let them know to download it, and it's going to thank them for being a part of it. And it may give them a PS, hey, we've got a great offer for you coming tomorrow. Keep an eye on your inbox. It's short, it's sweet. You want them to take the action to download and make sure that they are confirmed subscriber to your list. Double opt-in is very important. Do not skip this step. The second email that's going to get sent in this sales sequence is going to be a pain point email. This is often seen as an introductory email, but you're still having a call to action to the Tripwire product that you are offering or the product that you are offering. The pain point email should hit on the pain points that they are having that is connected to the opt-in. So if you were going to provide them with ways to not have your child tantrum and it was 10 tips and that was what your guide was, but now you have a workshop that goes more extensively into it, those are the pain points. What are they struggling with when it comes to those tantrums? And that's what the email should walk them through and how they can solve that problem with your Tripwire product that you are offering. The next email that is going to come is your testimonial email. And this email is, again, going to hit on the pain points that they have, but it's going to show how your testimonial person had the same pain points, but with the workshop, they had a huge transformation and now are grateful and thankful and don't have any more tantrums in their home. So that testimonial email is going to show how your person that has already bought your product had that same pain point that they did, but it was solved because of your product.
Hey there, guys. My name is Melanie from Mostly Under Control, and I am a member of Jenny's Influencer Entrepreneurs Insiders membership. I've been a part of it since 2017, and over these 6 years, I've taken full advantage of the weekly trainings that Jenny offers and the monthly group coaching. The group coaching is probably my favorite part of the membership. Jenny has taught me so many things for my business. She helped me niche down and write and teach about what I wanted so that I wouldn't burn out. In addition to what she teaches, the networking I've done with other members has been invaluable. I recommend her membership to all of my online business owner friends because it is worth every single penny.
Your next email is going to be a question and answer email. This is going to talk about any questions that they might have, any of the reasons why they're not sure if they should buy that product. And in this email, you set it up just like a question and answer piece on your sales page where it's shown with a question asked and then the answer. And again, some of those questions should hit on the pain points that your people have so that they can see that your product is going to give them the transformation. And then your last email in that sales sequence is going to be a last chance email because when you have a Tripwire product and you are offering it at a discounted price, you usually will do it for 48 to 72 hours. So your last chance email is going to be short and sweet. It's going to have bulleted pain points that they have and how your product helps them overcome those things by taking it. Okay, so those are going to be your sales sequence emails. Now, in order to implement the sales sequence, you need to be using, obviously, email software. And that email software, like we've talked about in the past, ConvertKit, MailChimp, MailerLite, MadMimi, any of the ones that are out there, the Flowdesk, the ones that you are using, they are going to have a place for this to automatically be created. So now this is where you're going to take those Google Docs that you created of each of these emails, and you're going to copy and paste them into the software that you have. Some programs will call it an automation. Some will call it a sales sequence. It's going to be based on your actual software. So you're going to need to take a look inside there to make sure that you're using it the right way. You want these emails to be delivered one after the other with 1 day in between. You do not need to wait a week before you deliver a second email and then another week for a third email. Deliver it all within each other within 1 day apart. That's all that you're looking to do so that they are getting these emails and hitting on those pain points because they've come to you for a solution. So you need to offer it to them so that they know that you have it. The last piece of your sales sequence that's going to be really important is to make sure that you are analyzing it, looking at the data to see what is working well. In previous episodes, we've talked about what to put in an email subject line, and then we talked about good email subjects. When you are looking at your sales sequence, you want to see if your email subject lines are actually causing them to open. If all of a sudden you look at your sales sequence and you see that your third email has a lower open rate than your fourth email, that's a problem. You need to make sure that you change your subject line, test something else out so that you know whether or not it is working. You also not only want to pay attention to your open rate with your subject lines, but you also want to take a look at your click-through rate. If you are noticing that your click-through rate is dipping, why is that? Is it because you only have one button in your sales email? Is it because you forgot to link to your actual product? I've had clients do that in the past. You want to make sure that you have one link going to your product, reminding them of it, and creating that sense of urgency that they want to take advantage of that Tripwire product before it expires. All right. I truly hope that you are able to take this sales sequence and now be able to create that funnel for your email list that is going to sell your products. I appreciate you all so much for listening in. If you haven't already left a rating and review and you have a quick sec, I would love it if you would leave me a quick rating and review within your podcasting app. Just tell me your biggest takeaway from this episode. All right, until next time, I will see you all then.